I came on here. I scheduled this to talk about stuff, but I just got an email from Thomas that defies words. I'm not Jewish. And even if I was Jewish, what difference would it make? But I'm not Jewish. The only time that I have ever even stepped foot in a synagogue is when I was catering my nephew's bar mitzvah. And all I did was deliver the food. I walked into the synagogue just to look at it. You know, I'm not Jewish. And technically, if we're all going to get technical, when I was in Seattle, I got baptized Mormon. So, and the fact that I actually have to argue whether or not I'm a gay man is the weirdest. I am not a closet heterosexual. Hey, Saki, I am not. It was just the emails are bizarre. And the reason why I was going to actually do a live for the last 3 days, maybe 4 days. I think this is the fourth day. I finally ended up doing one because I want to do these at least twice a week. But I just don't see the point anymore because all the shit is falling into place. And if it's not falling into place, things are beginning to fall into place. So a lot of shit is already falling into place, and the other stuff, it's just a matter of time before it falls into place. I am not fighting with all of this anymore because I think that God and heaven has a handle in it on it. It's funny because the last few days I've been thinking, and I'm going to play a hypothetical for everyone. That's what I wanted to do at the beginning of this live, is do a video, but I just got that crazy email. And I just I just don't know how to respond to it because it was so stupid. And but nothing says that you're innocent by barraging your victim with emails, not only from you, but from your friends. You attack like a gang of hyenas. And the argument of now I'm lying about my family, that's Dougie's argument. I have fought that for 10 years, who's worked hand in hand with my stepmother and my family. And the very family that needs to be investigated, you know? So, but I want to focus on what I wanted to talk about this. If I were the devil, and obviously I'm not the devil, I'm not saying I'm the devil, this is all hypothetical, but if I was the devil, I would realize that the rules worked for me the same way they worked for God and heaven. And the mankind, individuals, you reap what you sow. That's how it works. And I would realize that people would have to plant seeds. See, that's just it, Saki. That's just it. You know, I know I'm not the devil and I am gay, you know, and I'm not Jewish, you know, even though I really do appreciate my Jewish heritage. I do. I like the fact that I have Jewish blood in my ancestry because we were Jewish up until my grandmother Shurter. But I'm not Jewish. But if I was the devil and I realized that it was you reap what you sow, and it for the devil, it would never be about this life, you know? It would be about eternity. And so if I was the devil, I would come into this life as a man with a big flashing neon sign above my head that read easy mark. And it would flash. And in doing so, I would become a freak magnet. And because the one thing, the very one thing that every one of these butt wipes have in common is that they all, every single fucking one of them, fancies themselves as a super predator. That's what they think. They can hide in the dark, protected by their group, and hit people with sticks and rocks while they hide in the dark. And they really do fancy themselves as super predators. The dumbasses that are coming into my house. And now I'm starting to realize that people that I actually thought were cool are not. And the reason why I'm saying that is because now the one that doesn't have a job is doing the same weird shit that the other people have done. You know, go in and out of your car over and over and over when I'm sitting in my office at 5 o'clock, you know, and letting me know there's the only reason it just is happening at such a frequency that it can't be a coincidence. You know, that's how it works. That's how it works. And these idiots think they're protected because Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross is protecting them. And that's what they believe, is that they're completely protected. However, it's interesting because even though I am obviously not the devil, it is interesting how I was born into this group, bonded with the dark before I could even walk, and they pledged their souls to me. And they can say whatever the fuck they want. Thomas, the one thing that your group needs to realize, if you're gonna fucking trigger me with fucking pictures of Aquino, you need to make him young pictures. Because he was in his 20s when I had to deal with that. When I was a kid, he was young, and he wasn't the one completely in charge. He was in charge of me, but there were people above him. He was young. So the pictures that you keep sending me of him old, you know, what I know of that, Aquino, is that when I was a man and I was standing on his front step, knocking on the door, he was panicked in the window above me that just happened to be open, and I could hear him and Lilith talking about me, mentioning me by name. And so that's what I know of old Aquino. Will hide from me. That's what I know of Doug Mesner, aka Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple, who can live unbeknownst to me 23 miles away from me for 4 fucking years, but never had the temerity to actually stand in front of me and face me face to face. Hides in the goddamn shadows and pokes people with fucking sticks. But you want to know what? It's an interesting time we live in, because it's not really all that good to be hiding in the shadows right now. Your little friend Johnny sending me the shit with the Stargate and all of the weird ass shit that you have been inundating my emails with for the last 24 hours. Let me tell you what you did with that fucking Stargate, you dickheads. You opened it up and let the darkness come right on in. That's what you did. And I have told you this repeatedly, but let me reiterate. The only safe place from the darkness right now is in the light. That's the only safe place. You're safe from the dark. The only way to stand in the light is to fill your heart with love. That's how it works for everyone. That's how it works for everyone. So inundating me with all of this weird ass bullshit, inundating me with trying to get me to what, cower because you sent out an article from Hoaxstead Research, and you think I'm gonna cower from that, you know? Fucking dumbasses, all anonymous, who hid in the dark, discrediting all of those claims of child abuse. And why? Because after Jimmy Savile, all of a sudden people were focused and wanting to know who was involved. That's the reason why the UK came out and said, oh, the perps are just too old now. We don't want to go. It's just everyone is so old, and they're so old. We don't want to go through it now. And so all of a sudden they had the Hampstead case of those two children. And it was all meant, the only thing real in that Hampstead case were those two children. The good side, the bad side, all controlled opposition, all there to discredit everything. That's how it worked. Isn't like the same game hasn't been played here before. So actually bringing up Hoaxstead Research is not going to make me back down. Because my contention is, if it was really about if it was really about the child abuse issue and all the stuff that was coming out after that dude died, Jimmy Savile, everyone would have focused on the Shirley Oaks group home that was involved with the Catholic Church, that has hundreds of victims who have come together and joined forces and are all saying the exact same shit that the victims were saying in the 80s when this came out in the 80s. Only this time, they're all connected to a group home and they're all becoming a coalition. They're giving each other support. That's the reason why you don't ever hear anything about Shirley Oaks. So maybe bringing that shit up to me probably isn't the best idea. You know? Sending me pictures of Aquino probably isn't the best idea. You need to make him young. I didn't know him as an old man. You know? You guys, Thomas and your whole group, you all fancy yourselves as super predators. And you're about to find out exactly what a super predator is all about. Because a super predator can sit here, look you straight in the fucking eye, and tell you, in the end, you will experience just what those kids did. Just what those kids did. There's no place to run. There's no place to hide. No one is coming to save you, and you can't save yourself. And what already has a hold of you, you can't beat. And what is before you is so awful, you can't even begin to conceptualize what is right in front of you. That's what a super predator does. Stands in the fucking light and tells you how the fuck it is. And obviously your group knows that this is the way it is, because otherwise you wouldn't be wasting all of this time. What the fuck is it with all of the weird ass pictures? You know? Don't you have anything better to do than Photoshop a bunch of weird shit? You know? What is ahead of you is worse than you can even begin to imagine. That's the reason why I don't really care anymore. Heaven has complete control over everything, and none of you can beat heaven. Your group isn't going to be able to beat heaven. We're on day 10 You fired a bunch of people. Now we have a fucking plane full of kids that crashed into a fucking helicopter, and you're blaming it on diversity, and we're at day 10. How long do you think that shit is going to last? How long do you think you're actually going to be able to kick the can down the road? Cuz it hasn't been working well and we're only on day 10. You know? He is a stalker and he makes the weirdest memes. Half of the time I don't even understand what they mean. That's how oblivious I am. I don't even know what they're trying to say. You know? Except the one where they made me into a Sith Lord. You know? I'm not like them. There were only two sides for me in all of this from the very beginning, their side or God's side. I was either going to go join the devil lovers who fucking made my life a living fucking hell, killed kids, gang raped me, made me eat fucking raw fucking flesh and drink blood. Oh, yeah, they were a hoot to grow up with or serve God, you know? Yeah, he is making government smaller. Of course, when the planes start to fucking crap, when the airlines start to lose business because now people are afraid to fly. Now anyone with a fucking brain is afraid to fly because it's already come out that the traffic controller said they didn't have enough staff. You know, they didn't have enough staff. Things are going to get crazy here very fast. Very, very fast. They already are crazy. It's just that we've been living in this weird reality television world that we're not even aware of it yet, you know? And so, heaven has this all under control. If I was the devil, wouldn't it be convenient if I was the devil that they trained me with all of their Luciferian Nazi bullshit? That's what I know about their shit. It's way behind schedule. It's way behind schedule and it's not working the way that they thought it was going to work. But again, never start a war you haven't already won. That was the first rule that Kino taught me. Second, fight your enemy, fight your opponent where he is not. And the third one was never underestimate your opponent. But fight your enemy where he is not. If you go to my blog, davidshurter.com, and you go up above and read Confessions of an Antichrist, which is the extended version of this book that I got nominated for Book of the Year. But if you go read the spiritual stuff, which was taken out of Rabbit Hole, you will find they never realized that not only the thing that lived in my dad that took me over when my dad died when I was 39, they didn't realize that I could release it, that I could help with the whole situation. And they never realized, which is kind of weird, but they never realized that it would get into my head to go psychopump the fallen. Because psychopumping the fallen, the entities that provided them their power and their protection, I took all that away. Now it's just them. That's the reason why I can't believe that they were dumb enough to do that ritual. I cannot believe that they were dumb enough to do that ritual. Set themselves above God. You know? There's a reason why Trump wouldn't put his hand on the Bible when he got it. There's a reason for that. What wasn't it? Not one of his Bibles. They could have even held it upside down for him if they really wanted to. He likes that. He got a picture of him holding a Bible upside down. You know, people, most people won't realize that they're following the false prophet when they're following him. And we're at the end. This war has already been won. Heaven has already won this war. Now it's just gravy. Now it's just gravy. And I know that their lives are going poorly because they won't leave me the fuck alone. You know? And funny enough, it isn't the porn actress and Phoenix Enigma and all of them who are on top of me. They're not the ones I'm having to deal with. I haven't had to deal with them for a very long time. There's only one special group. Follow no man. Jesus Christ. If you're going to follow a man, Jesus Christ is the only one. Fill your heart with love. We're at the ascension. Death is coming. Death is coming. It's already here. Shit is already getting ready to shift and explode. San Antonio just had a 4.9 earthquake. You know? Right. Funny how Thomas is the only one and his friends, but he points fingers at all the rest. But he's the one I'm having to deal with. You know? Follow the man, right. Follow Jesus Christ. Notice how nobody argues Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Atheists can argue the Bible all they want. All they want. But Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the reason why you never hear any argument over what Jesus Christ taught was because it's infallible. The stuff that he taught was infallible. You can't argue with it. It is how it is supposed to work. That's the reason why nobody argues. They'll argue whether or not Jesus Christ lived or not. It's beside the point. It's what Jesus Christ taught, because chances are they didn't call him Jesus Christ either when he was alive. So that's not even a real name. Who cares? It's the information. It's what he taught and what he represents. And it's infallible. It's infallible. Fill your hearts with love, or you will be claimed by the dark. That's how it's going to work. And they already let the dark in. It's already here. It's already claiming them. And now, whoever it is, every time I leave, they get into my house now and do stupid shit. Break shit, leave shit. Fuck, ate a brownie that I had bought at Hy-Vee. You know, I bought a package, which is fine because I wasn't going to eat them all anyway. But that's the stupid shit they do. And do I believe that Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross is in the office? No. I don't believe. 911 is the one who told me that, but you also have to realize that 6 weeks before that, they sent me to an FBI satellite office in Council Bluffs that doesn't exist. So it's not like they're not bullshit artists. They go out of their way to lie. Do I think that Neil, and the biggest reason I believe that Neil is working, the other day, dude, when I was driving past Casey's and the fire trucks are in front and every sheriff was outside. Every sheriff was outside. That every sheriff that was working in town is in there. I didn't say I believed in the Bible. I said the Gospels of Jesus Christ. I'm very specific in what I said. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, what Jesus Christ taught. I'm not arguing the Bible. I'm not going to get into a theological discussion. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. What exactly did Jesus Christ say that you have a disagreement with? Bring that argument to the table. I want to know what Jesus Christ said, what Jesus Christ said that you have a problem with. not the rest of the Bible, not all the shit that's been written and rewritten and edited by the Catholic Church and done this and done that. You know, I'm not saying any of that. What exactly did Jesus Christ, what Jesus Christ is reported to say, what exactly is your argument from what the man said? That's what I have an issue with. Because no one ever can say, oh, well, I don't agree with fill your heart with love. You know, it's I don't care. I don't agree with compassion. I don't, and it's not that you have a reason. It's just that you don't. I kind of, when people argue shit like that, they just don't want to be responsible for doing the evil shit that they do. And they think because they dismiss the responsibility that it no longer is going to deal with it. Evil is real, and it's about to be claimed by the dark. And if you love it, you will also be claimed by the dark. I do not think Isaac Cappy is in witness protection. There's pictures of his fucking autopsy. No, I don't believe that Isaac Cappy is still alive. But that's what this whole thing is about. And see, they're all arguing that bullshit. Because they're so focused on all the stupid shit. They want to keep their secret. That's what they want to do. They want to keep their secret. And it's just, yeah, a lot of people are hearing a lot of things about Isaac Cappy right now. There's a lot of things that are being ignored. There's a lot of things being spoken about with Isaac Cappy and this group. But if I was the devil and I had any influence over the dark, and the dark kind of did my bidding, as the devil, what I would want is for the dark to claim its followers. And then, since its followers know what they're afraid of and knows all their secrets, I would want the darkness to go into my followers and draw that to them, so that they would draw to themselves that which scares them the most. That's the spell I would have cast. It already has and is. Not will, is. Dude, what specifically did Jesus Christ say that you have an argument with? And then, with that following up, what part of I'm not going to get into a theology argument don't you understand? If you want that, go someplace else. I'm not willing to do that today. But if you want to have this conversation further, what exactly did Jesus Christ say? Never entertain demons. That's just it. Demons, the fallen, don't exist anymore. And I was never afraid of the fallen. You have to understand, I was trained through all the shit that I went through as a kid to look at them as they were my brothers, as if they were my brothers. I grew up caring about the fallen. That was my argument when all this was going down, and I was talking to the fallen that I had had to deal with all of my life. Why are you letting this group of idiots treat you like performing monkeys? And that's what my argument was to the fallen. Why are you letting? They sacrifice nothing. Most of them don't even fucking know who's on the altar. Don't have any, they're not sacrificing anything. And they do what they're doing, they like to do, because it makes them feel powerful. because it makes them feel like they're alpha predators, super predators. Like I said, that's the thing that makes them all similar. They all fancy themselves as super predators. And so they sacrifice nothing. They enjoy what they're doing. And in the end, when push came to shove, not only would they not honor their allegiances, but they would go out of their way to break them. That's the reason why heaven told me, okay, you're a perfect example. The shit that they pledged to me. When it didn't go their way, what would they do? Exactly what they are doing. Attacking me. That's what they've always done. All this shit where they've murdered Owen and blown up a gas station, fuck, that's just a period of my life. Fucking murdered David Klotz. When I came back for his funeral, I was presented with a goddamn towel full of his blood and brain fragment, saying that it was a present from Alan Bear. That's what happened when I was 19, 20 years old. They murdered my sister 3 weeks after my dad. They've done all this shit to me from the very fucking beginning. Not to mention out in Washington when Mesner had those idiots take out that protection order, and every single video listed on that protection order that you can find in Kent, Washington, David Shurter, just ask him for the shit. Every one of those videos has absolutely nothing to do with the petitioners. Didn't mention them once. They only and solely dealt with Doug Mesner, aka Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple. The dickhead, unbeknownst to me, was living 23 miles away from me in Tacoma, because I lived in Algona. That's the shit. And they use that. And then that dickhead, Doug Mesner, do you remember Ryan Miller? Oh, the fucking cop that was helping you. They actually said that I broke the order because they parked in front of my driveway. It was 150 feet away from my house, and parked in front of my house. And when I flipped them off and walked into my house, that was me breaking the fucking protection order. I had to go to jail, or not jail, I had to go to court over that. But I had already sold my house and was moving back to Iowa. They blow up a gas station. Who exactly has the power to get people to lie, officials to lie about the Erling, Iowa gas station explosion? Because the official report says it was one explosion, the place filled with gas, it exploded and leveled the place. But the KETV news article, the news program that was shown that night because a gas station exploded in Iowa, small town Iowa, was pretty big fucking news. The fact that Neil was on there and the owner was on there, who said that he got out, went back in, got his brother-in-law, got them both out before the second explosion exploded. And not only were they on the news, but so was I. I was on the news. So I feel that I know a little bit more about what was happening in Erling than Thomas and the rest of the Dead Isaac Happy Club. And my sister, who wasn't even fucking there at the time, all of this bullshit. But the reason why they've been able to do the shit that they have done to me is because it all goes into the goddamn dark. And it's all waiting for them in the dark. What Aquino taught me to do, I'm very good at. And I practice. And always have. Because what they opened in me as a kid didn't just go away. It got stronger. I had to learn how to control it before it consumed me. Their problem is that their little vessel for the Antichrist jumped ship and now serves heaven. Anything heaven needs me to do, I will do whatever I'm asked to do. That's how it works. The very fact that because I'm celibate and not having sex doesn't mean I'm not gay. You know, it just means that I gave it up for my faith. You know, if you want to hear it from the beginning, get Rabbit Hole. I'm selling it for $30. Venmo, PayPal, $30. Tell me who I'm inscribing it to, telling me where I'm sending it to. That only works in the United States. If you're outside of the United States, you need to ask me about shipping because shipping is astronomical. Go to my blog, davidshurter.com. That's been going since 2011. Have any questions? There's a search bar on the right side, kind of down. Figure out names, type in names, you know. The forward is from someone I no longer trust. That's the problem. The forward is from Randy Noblet. And I don't trust Randy Noblet. I don't. Because this whole thing has been a government thing to capture. That's the reason why there was so much eagerness to get. But I just don't care anymore. You know? I just don't. Things are about getting ready to shift and change in a way that people are not going to be ready for. I am talking about Michael Aquino. Michael Aquino was my handler as a child. Young Michael Aquino. He wasn't the only one. There were people above him. He was in his 20s when I got him. You know? The people that I'm fighting with right now, Doug Mesner, same group as Michael Aquino. Thomas, same group as Michael Aquino. Craig Sawyer, same group. The Dead Isaac Happy Club, same group. It's all Michael Aquino, who is not dead, by the way. I don't believe that Michael Aquino is dead. I don't see how someone is able to commit suicide twice in a 3-year time span. I don't understand how that works. 2019, and then what, 2023, 24 was supposed to have done it all over again? You know? No, don't believe it. Don't believe it. And I'm not afraid of Michael Aquino. If I was afraid of Michael Aquino, I wouldn't have showed up at his front door at Fisherman's Wharf. You know? Let me tell you, that was a strange day for me. I walked away disillusioned. A dude that everyone was so terrified of. And I heard him and Lilith frantically mentioning my name over and over and over, terrified. I don't know I was just simply knocking on the door. What exactly did they expect me to transform myself into a dragon? You know, I'm not quite sure what he expected, what he was so afraid of. But I will tell you that his fear had a direct influence on my mindset after that. Just like Dougie reaching out to me on Twitter as chief handler, offering me any amount of money I wanted if I would just simply stop. And then when I told him to save his blood money, he told me, oh, I have other things I can offer. You know, dude, it's never going to stop. In fact, it hasn't even really begun. See, you can aim all of your fucking directed energy weapon bullshit on me all you want. You can, all you want. And you know what the fuck happens? I just channel it into the fucking dark. Where I tell people who find themselves on the new garden, they will breathe in joy. That will be the atmosphere in the new garden, because heaven will interact with mankind at will. And those who find themselves, who ascend with love in their hearts and find themselves in the new garden, will breathe in joy. But if you're in the dark, what you've put me through with all this crap, this directed energy weapons bullshit, is all in the dark. But you know, the first rule of quantum physics is that energy can be neither created nor destroyed, but it can be focused and it can be amplified. And that's exactly what I've done. That's what's waiting for you in the dark. So you just keep pushing the fucking buttons to all of your little fucking toys. Because just wait till you get to see the twist I've given it when you find yourself in the dark. Breaking into my house, doing whatever the fuck you want to me at will. That ain't going to work well for you. I can give back what I've been given. That's what ends up happening. And I don't know how I have to tell anybody, but when I first started off with this, I was so not a follower of Jesus Christ. I knew the Luciferian bullshit. So when I did this and made the pledges that I did, I offered my life and my soul to this. And now heaven is answering its prayers. Those who are faithful in the word will be safe. They will be able to experience how the word was meant to be experienced in the new garden. But if you don't have love in your heart, you get claimed by the dark. That's how it works. If you do not have the energy in your heart that it takes to ascend, you get claimed by the dark. And you ain't going to like the dark. You ain't. I was trained to be the fucking vessel of the Antichrist. Why do you think I'd be all about rainbows and lollipops? You know? And personally, me, I think that heaven needed a man to construct the dark. Because man understands evil in a way that neither angels nor anyone else in heaven understands. Trust me. I know the dark. They raised me because they wanted me to be a psychopath. It succeeded with my brother Stephen. And in a way, it did succeed in me. You find yourself in the dark. I'm not here to entertain you. You know? What distinct story are you looking for? You know? There's lots of videos all out there. It's not like I haven't documented this shit for years. You know? I know what I'm doing. Never start a war that you haven't already won. It was pretty simple. I just jumped ship and joined heaven. That's the winning side. We were always told that it was the winning side. Of course it's the winning side, you know? And their group doesn't have the fallen anymore. You can do whatever fucking rituals you want. You can do whatever you want. You can pray to whoever you want. You can sacrifice everything under that fucking stupid owl statue. You can do whatever the fuck it is you want. It ain't gonna fucking work. It ain't gonna work anymore. Hasn't been working. And something tells me that this group is starting to actually realize that for the first time ever. They realize that I have not been lying to them. I have been warning them. And in the end, when they don't heed my warnings and they do all the evil shit that they want to do because they fancy themselves super predators, 4 little words. I told you so. 4 little words. That's all I ask for you to remember. When your asses are in the dark, 4 little words. I told you so. So there's no crying foul, you know? And we are at the end. Johnny, it's not an asteroid that I was talking about, February 28th. It's a planetary alignment. I know the reading and listening comprehension skills are poor with your group. But let me reiterate, I wasn't talking about an asteroid, February 28th. Mercury joins the other 6 planets. There will be a planetary alignment of 7 planets with the Earth and the Sun. You know, in the end, you will know that it is the end because of what is in the stars. Stars fall from the sky. You know, Betelgeuse is getting ready to go into supernova, and what I'm afraid of is so is our sun. That's the reason why we're at a solar maximum, the likes of which we have never seen before. There's no magnetic field because the poles are getting ready to reverse, which they've done over and over and over repeatedly. It's just that now we have no protection from all the gamma radiation and the heat, which is causing the earth to warm up, and volcanoes that have been quiet for thousands of years are now starting to wake up. We are at the end. Death is coming. Fill your hearts with love or be claimed by the dark. That's how it works. There is no argument. All the games that these idiots are playing to hide their secrets, probably not a good idea. If you had a brain in your head, you would get on those rooftops. Instead of actually trying to convince everybody that you're something that you're not, you would do well to get on the rooftops and start proclaiming your sins. Repent, for the time is here. That's how it's working. And you can tell yourselves whatever it is that you need to tell yourself to feel better. But lying to yourself about it and not doing what we were told. Because the stuff that I'm telling you is all stuff. It's not like I made this up. It's not even original. You know? It's not even original. I'm not even being original. I'm reminding everybody what we've already been told. I'm just assuring you that things haven't changed. Love God, love everyone else. Fill your hearts with love, or you're going to be claimed by the spiritual black hole these dumbass devil lovers have made. That's what they've created, is a spiritual black hole. Imagine that. A bunch of fucking asswipes who fancy themselves as super predators who worship the dark. Wow. Couldn't see that one a-coming. You know? But with that said, I'm going to pray, because I'm going to keep this in an hour. I like them at an hour. And for the devil lovers, and I know, Akina, that you listen to this, you realize that the darkness is our mother's, right? And you ain't gonna like being embraced back into our mother's womb, so to speak, in the dark. You ain't gonna like it. You ain't gonna like the dark, which is our mother's, by the way. The only reason that I have any influence over it is because I have always been a mama's boy. Always. Always. You know? Always been a mama's boy. And you should know that it's the female part that you're battling, because that's what you've done. Who exactly was Moloch, or that your shit is just the fallen lied to you. The fact that you thought you could take your little war machine into heaven just proves how absolutely ignorant and delusional your group is. You can't beat heaven. The angels couldn't beat heaven. Why do you think that just because there's a bunch of ignorant, overly self-entitled douchebags who hide in the fucking dark and hit people, you know? I didn't see the video. I didn't watch it. All I know is that if you read the video, if you read what Thomas wrote, I'm not gay, I'm Jewish. What he explained was going to be in that video, I just didn't even bother to watch. It was just beyond it is beyond stupid. It is beyond stupid. Just what he said in the email was beyond stupid. So I just sent it out. I just sent it out. I think that they're all vying for the insanity defense, is what I think. You know, rapping for Jesus. We're supposed to emulate Jesus Christ. And notice how not one argument over what Jesus Christ preached. Not one. When it couldn't become a theology argument over the Bible and the history of the Bible, blah, 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 blah. That you can argue all damn day. What Jesus Christ taught, what the man taught, is infallible, can't be argued with. It is how it works. On the other side, that's how it works. I'm going to pray. Father, Mother, we come to you. We come and beseech all of heaven. We are in days that are unprecedented. And I just ask that you shine your light within us, and so that we are well aware that all of heaven is with us at this time. And it guides us and strengthens us to emulate our brother, Jesus Christ, and help people stand strong in their faith of the word. And that word is love. Love God, which is life itself, and love everyone else. And I just ask that those of us who are able to hear the message and understand the message, that it compels us to be better than who we are even today. Not saying that we're bad now, but keep us in the mindset of constantly striving to be stronger and better in the word. We are grateful that you've sent your son down to teach us how to live the word. Love God, love everyone else. That heaven is not made of buildings made of wood and stone, but it is inside of us and all around us. If we split a piece of wood, we'll find the Spirit. Lift a rock, the Spirit is there. Just keep us focused. And when those irritations come along, remind us that they don't really mean a whole lot. Things are about ready to change. And the key thing is to start emulating our brother, who was amazing. Thank you for sharing us with the word. And we say these things gratefully and lovingly in your Son, our brother's name, Jesus Christ. Amen. And so, I don't know, it's just been bizarre. The stuff that they have way too much time, and they're way too focused on me. I don't know how long it takes to do all those little pictures, but now they're back to making videos, and I guess now there's stuff on Rumble about me. I mean, they're just all over the place because they think all that shit is going to have a difference. They think it's going to make a difference. And I think that heaven is here, and I think that none of that shit is going to make any difference. It's the spiritual stuff in the end that's going to make the difference. And filling our hearts with love and trying to do what we can do to do that. And their crazy, stupid, criminal shit is not going to work well for them. Is not going to work well for them. You know? And they have me, from what I can tell now, they have me surrounded. They have me surrounded. And they wait. Every time I leave now, they come in the house because they want me to stay at home, which I'm fine with. You know, I don't have any money anyway. So why go, you know, I don't have any money to go out, so I just stay home. And I'm okay with that. I guess. But they're very focused on everything. And let me just point out, when they started bragging about breaking into my house and stealing that Dell laptop computer out of my house, at the exact same time, and this is for my sheriff and my law enforcement who have all the fucking emails, at the exact same time, that Johnny dude, who's Thomas's friend, started going on and on and on about how Thomas doesn't believe that I'm as poor as I am because of the furnishings in my house. Exact fucking same time. Exact same time. Wow, what a freaking coincidence, you think? You know? That's what I'm saying. They can do whatever they want to me. They just broke into my house, bragged about the shit they stole. My sheriff knows, and my sheriff knows everything. Because it's not like they aren't sending the emails to Neil as well. Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross is getting the emails, just like his little captain, Chad Butler. Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff, or Deputy Sheriff, whatever the fuck Chad Butler's name is. They're sending them the emails too. So they all know. They all know. They can brag about whatever crimes they want to do, and they know my sheriff's department ain't going to do shit except lie to me. You know, tell me that Neil Gross isn't working. Just like Michael Aquino committed suicide twice in a 3-year time span. Just like my stepmother is dead, even though I ran into her very animated corpse, I guess, at the Farmhouse Cafe, you know? And the reason why they murdered Owen is because the Ricky Chaddick case, which started all of this, that was why I went to Nebraska State Patrolman John Pankinen and forced him to take my, and now they're texting me, you know? You're a little bit late, getting ready to quit. But I started the Ricky Chaddick case by going and giving them my DNA because I wanted my DNA, not realizing that John Pankinen and their little crew was trying to put it all on Owen's brother Neil, who also mysteriously died right before Owen, a few years before Owen died. He ended up dead, you know? They wanted to put the Ricky Chaddick case on Neil's brother. That's the reason why they took out Neil. It wasn't just because he was my friend. You know, it was because Neil was involved with the Ricky Chaddick case because they were trying to put it all off on his brother Neil, who was Ricky Chaddick's stepdad at the time. But Ricky Chaddick's stepdad Neil didn't have the white Oldsmobile that Ricky Chaddick, that they saw that man and woman driving around. But my grandmother Shurter did. And the man and woman were my dad and my stepmom. They took out Owen because they knew that Owen knew that his brother had nothing to do with it. That's the reason why they involved my sister Kathy. You know? Kathy, who's the one who told me that Daniel Dowd lived in Joplin, Missouri, not in Arizona anymore. The same dude that was involved as Pootie Twang posting live videos of my town when Owen dies is also the same dude that now was reportedly on the bridge with Isaac Cappy. Even though 4 years before, he was nowhere around and Phoenix Enigma was driving under the overpass. And now the story has changed. But that's the way it is with these idiots, is that the story, the history just keeps changing. That's the reason why they don't like me. You don't have to remember history. You just have to think about it. You know? That's the reason why they can say I lie all the time, but I am just saying the same shit I have always said. That's the reason why they took out Owen, because they didn't want any connection to Ricky Chaddick, which is how all of this started for me, is going to John Pankinen, who sent his sister True into both my sisters, Kathy, and my life at the exact same time. Not realizing that Nebraska State Patrol cold case dude John Pankinen was also the same dude that helped put Alicia Owen in jail. Same dude. See how the connections work this way? You know? But with that said, I'm out of here because I'm at an hour. I'm at an hour. But there's more connections to all of this stuff than people realize. And just because you don't realize it doesn't change the facts. You know? Doesn't change what is. And what is that what's here to claim them, they can't run from. And they can't hide. And no one is coming to save them. And they can't save themselves. And what's already has a tight grasp on them hasn't even begun. Enjoy fucking eternity, you fucking murdering butt wipes. You fancy yourselves super predators, want to hide in the dark? Let's see how well you handle the dark. For real.